Alright guys, I'm going to try and get through this one quickly because there was loads of action on the markets this week, and it just goes to prove what I bang on about all the time and probably bore most people who watch these videos, that patience pays. If you wait for confluences to get breached and then eventually the strongest level gets hit and price reacts to it, so it's the proof's there. And even in my Telegram channel, which I've got a link in the description, so if you want to pop in there and have a look at what I send in there. Basically this week everything that I sent in there played out. It was just a really good week for somebody who's got patience and sticks to their plan. So yeah, if you want to just feel free to jump in that Telegram channel if you want, and you'll just go back through the week. If you want to improve yourself as a trader, it's definitely a good exercise to do. Go back through the whole week, because I only created the channel on Monday, so go back through the whole week. I explain about some market flows as well, and just share my charts, and you'll see how last week unfolded in real time if you want, and you can look at the charts and compare. So anyway, let's just get into the trades. So Sunday night at the open, so we had quite a big gap up on GN. So before I went to bed, I just set an order at these the previous high down here. I set an order there. If price was to breach here, then I wouldn't have been in the trade any longer. So played out nicely, and then I did make a bit of a mistake. So I took some profit, and then I should have really closed around here, which was when price got to here, but I left it, and then price started coming back. But I was lucky because the next time it came, I closed the trade. So yeah, I got away with one there, so it's all good. So Tuesday I had a cable, so pound US dollar buy, and it was just the same setup which I took here. So the level and the 50-day EMA. So price had broken through the level, come back and tested it, and that played out nicely. I did leave another runner, and I got stopped out. Again, if you're not watching the previous videos, I have got several buy positions on cable, because after this move back up, I was bullish cable with my final extended target is 1.4. So, and I'm going to do a separate video on showing you why I'm bullish on cable and why I feel it's a trend change. So I'll get that video posted either later today or tomorrow. So that was Tuesday's trade. Wednesday, no trades on Wednesday, but I had there was a lot of market flows dictating, driving the market, so driving currency markets, and this was due to the crypto carnage. So FTX, basically he's been frauding his the people who hold money in his brokerage, allowing his friends to use it for high risk investments which haven't gone to plan. so that caused a bit of a sell off on cable, because when you get panic, you know, more people sell, makes people panic, and then more people want to sell, and then it just snowballs from there. So, and the dollar got boosted from that, so that gives some dollar strength. And I think you can see Wednesday. Yeah, so Wednesday was mainly dollar strength, and if you look at the US 30 on Wednesday, you'll see that a lot of assets were dropping. So stocks were dropping, crypto was dropping, and all this was being converted into US dollars. So that increased the demand for US dollar, and then we've got pound against US dollar here dropping on the US dollar strength. So Wednesday there was nothing for me, and then Thursday things got extremely lively, and the week finished off incredibly well. So it was the US inflation data. So because I've got a good buy position on cable now, from I think I've got three buys running. So one from here, I think got one from here as well, and then I can't remember where the other one was, but I've got, let me check. Yeah, so I've got three buy positions, 4 now, because I added an extra buy before the inflation data, which the only reason I did it is because I was prepared to sacrifice some of the buy positions that I've already built up. So, and I'll explain my thinking behind why I bought it in the video when I focus on cable alone, but I was almost certain that inflation was slowing down. There's been lots of reports on Twitter for a couple of weeks now saying that inflation's slowing down, and the rate hike's going to be less aggressive. So I took my position before the data, and it was almost instant gratification because it absolutely flew straight on the news, pretty much non-stop for 300 pips. So it was played out really nicely. And then we had Euro USD sell, and that was from this zone, and it was an in and out move for me, so we got triggered in there and then took some profit, left a small position running just in case, you know, any sort of flows occurred at the time, more crypto carnage or anything to give the dollar a bit of a boost, but that wasn't the case. So price continued on its way higher, and then I did have another sell which it just missed me. It actually went through the order slightly, but I'm not in it. I will look at the market open on Sunday night, and then I will look to get into that. I was hoping for it to happen around 4 p.m. On Friday, but it didn't. Price just continued all through the session, and then dollar yen was a buy on the Thursday, so that level here. So again, we've got lots. So EMA breach, and it's a big move from one level to the next, and the profit taking confluence is there because nobody who's short is going to risk hoping that is going to risk their leaving their profit on the table when this level is being arrived at. Any any trader with a brain has to secure some profits here at this level after this move. So there's going to be a reaction, and then there was a very good reaction. So that was a nice trade on the Thursday, and the patience paid. So wait for the level, and worked out perfectly. So that's a great example of why you shouldn't be afraid. If you're trading from the strongest levels, they work. On a day that was really, dollar almost crashing. If you look at the chart there, I've had two successful buys on the dollar. So I've bought the dollar twice and it's paid out twice. So there's no reason to be afraid if you're using the strongest zones, and never be afraid of a fast move into a zone, because these work better. People look at when price drifts slowly over days and days and days, and you've got candles just slowly drifting, and they think that is a more inviting trade to take, but it really isn't. When price is drifting, it's like drift of death. It will just drift straight through your zone, because when price is drifting, let me just use this as an example here. You've got wicks on all the candles, so price is going up, pulling back, going up, pulling back, going up, pulling back. The market is in balance. So when I talk about profit taking at a strong level, I want a market that's completely out of balance, like it's just been driving one way, and there hasn't been any profit taking. So what you got to think is the people who are in, like for example, the sell and price is moving down, they're not making any money until they close some out. So once they close their positions out, and you can jump on that move, you've then got people closing sells, people jumping into buys. So that is double the momentum to give a reaction to the zone. So when market's drifting, it's generally in balance. So fast moves are brilliant. Don't be afraid of them. Just make sure you're trading from the strongest levels. So that was Thursday, and then Friday. It was quite good on Friday, because I actually dropped in a video into the channel saying about a mid-session update on what I'm looking for this afternoon, and it played out perfectly. So it was a good example. We had CAD Swiss franc. I don't know, I still keep saying we, but it's just me. I'm on my own. Ridiculous. So I discussed this in a previous video. Go back through the videos and you'll notice why I don't like trading this pair, and it's because the movement, the daily range, is generally not enough for me to get in and out with the correct sort of risk reward. So there was a trend line here, I think the setup was, and didn't take the break retest, but there was I think I had a zone here that's something to buy, and the whole day's candle was 50 pips down. So for me to get in a buy and get out, nearly the whole day's move would need to retrace, and I'm bearish on this pair after it's bounced from this trend line. So there was no way I wanted to get into a buy to get in and out when the whole daily candle would need to retrace for me to get a decent amount of profit. So I'm only interested in this pair when it's a really strong zone and price has been moving for a while, and my targets are a good distance away. So this zone here had to be taken for me, because it was a quick one, so we probably have to go down to the 15-minute chart and look. So it's a good move, and it played out nicely. So it was, so price was dropping and dropping, and then there was an even stronger move. I think that was on the CAD data that came up at the same time as the US inflation, possibly. Well, it was driven by the US inflation anyway, and that gave it bounce perfectly. So that was nicely. And then there was another thing that backed up. So I mentioned this Euro CAD zone, but the timing didn't quite work out because I wanted this to be here at about 4 p.m. because and it arrived early, and it played out, it worked, but I said beforehand that it was too early in the day for me, but it did play out at the same time as the CAD Swiss franc. And I give an explanation on why I took this even though the timing didn't work out. And the reason was because if you've got a move like this, as I mentioned before, if price has had a huge move, nobody's making any profit until they're closing some of their position out. So when a seller closes some of his sell position, that is a buy order. So buy orders from people who are buying and buy orders from people that are closing sells doubles up the volume, and it causes price to reverse. So I don't care what time of day this happens, because if there's a level like this after such a move, I'm going to take it whatever time of day it is, because it has to give a reaction. It doesn't have to, it could get smashed, but it's highly likely it's going to give a reaction, and that did. So that was the week. Actually, we're done. So it was a very busy week in the end, even though at the start of the week, you'll see from the first video that I put in the channel on the Monday that I said I haven't really got much of interest at the moment, but here's my view on the current market. So, but then things develop and you get some situational trades, some strong moves into levels, some, take positions before data if you're fairly confident what the data is going to be, and it all plays out. And then the market moves, and through the week positions set up develop, and it's just about patience really. Because if I used to see on a Monday that there was no sort of good setups, I might have dropped down to the 4 hour and then, or even lower, and found setups which inevitably would have been smashed because they were shit. So you just gotta stick to the strongest levels. And there was just one other thing that I'm still collecting the data. I'm trading it occasionally, Eurobond. So I had this zone marked out, which I said I wasn't interested in taking the trade. I just wanted to check this sort of level, which price has been breached the level several times. Also a trend line. I just wanted to journal it really and capture the data, and then so it did give a reaction. So I noted that one down, and then obviously this key level and EMA played out. And then I also said that I fully expect a reaction on the retest of this zone. So, and that's what happened. So it just shows to me that the key levels on Eurobond actually do stay relevant, because the way I trade on currency pairs generally, once this level here, once this price action's happened, I disregard this level, and I put a level in here, and I'd go with the recent price action. But because this does prove that they reacted on the way up and it reacted on the way back down as well, so it's just how I collect data before I start seriously trading an asset. So the bund looks really good technically, so I think I've took 4 trades on it so far, and they've all played out, and even most of the zones that I don't trade play out as well. So it's just a case of collecting data for a few more weeks on this, and then I'll add it to my full trading plan. But that's it for the review. Sorry, nearly 20 minutes, so talking. It's like once I get going, no ranting today. I'll save that for the common trader problems video, which is should be finished in the next couple of days. So I'll leave you to it. So we're done. Cheers.